Hey everyone, this is Gleb Bakhmutov, and today I want to show another plugin written by Denis Bergevin that I actually admire. This is a great plugin. This is something I wanted for a long time. This is something Cypress users are asking and begging for like 10 years now. It's called cypress-plugin-grep-boxes, and it needs my cygrep plugin to work. You install it just like any dev dependency, and then you configure your Cypress config file. So in my config file, I have my grep plugin, and I also have a couple of environment settings, grep filter specs and grep emit filtered, so that you hide all the skip tests. And then in your support end-to-end or your component test, after you install the cygrep plugin, you also load the functions from the Cypress plugin grep boxes, and you configure it by just calling those functions. So here's what happens after that. I have my Cypress open. I'm gonna load maybe one spec, and notice by default there are a lot of tests in this spec file, and Cypress runs all of them, right? And if you want to run just one test, you have to go to the spec file and do something like, this is app spec. You have to maybe set e.only, right, which is cumbersome, and you can clear it, and then again runs all the tests. And Cypress plugin grep-boxes adds new UI to the toolbar and to each test name. And all you can do now, or what you can do now, is select the test or a suite of tests that you want to run. So basically the icons disappear, but just it's hard to refresh your UI on top of someone else's app. But basically, let's select, like, say, those two tests, maybe this one, and adds 4 to-dos. And then you can click this button, filter selected tests, and notice what happens. It only executes those 3 tests, and it skips everything else, and it even omits it from the UI. Only the suite titles are shown. And if you click rerun, or if you touch those spec file, or you click R on your keyboard, it reruns those filtered tests. So it's really convenient because you can focus on running only those tests. And if you want to run all the tests, then you just click this filter button again, and now you're running everything again. And now you can really use that option to run all the specs. So in my config file, I have this experimental run all specs setting set to true, which means if I go back to the list of all the specs, I can say, run all of them, okay? And usually it's a mess because it just runs way too many tests to work effectively. You might do it if you just want to check all the tests before you push the code, but really I never use this. But with this plugin, it actually makes perfect, because now I can say, okay, from this spec file, select this test, maybe this one, and let's say those 2. And now I can just run those 4 tests across all 6 spec files and finish them very, very quickly. So great job, Dennis. As always, really admire this plugin. Highly recommend to always install this plugin with my cygrep whenever you have a new Cypress project.